Okay, so my name is Uva Westmeyer, but my social media persona is Princess Uva with three E's. And yeah.
Hey, it's Kellen. And today on Diversified Game, my guest, I had to make sure I got her name right, Uva, because I wanted to call her Princess Ooh-wee when I saw it on the social media, And so she's going to give us the game. She's an influencer. You see the butterflies in the back. So she's a young influencer, whatnot. I didn't want to ask her any questions like, what do you think about, MySpace and the technology revolution? She would not have known what I was talking about because she was a small Peking back then. But you guys, she's going to give us the game, and a lot of her platform is on her daily life, but also on her unique experiences of being a burn survivor. We're going to get into it because even though, you are a burn survivor, that's not the first thing that I saw. I was just like, hey, who's this giving some game on, everyday life? So that's what, struck me. So welcome to the show, madame. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Blessed by the best, and by your chuckle, you understand pigeon. So if I go back and forth, you'll overstand, and it'll be all good. Well, I don't want people to get the game of, the burn surviving, because you have a great video that you did on it that talks about it, when you were a real small Peking in a crib, still on the Bobby, and I want them to go to that channel, and I'll have it linked, you guys, so you can go directly there. It's her most popular video. But what I want to start with is, when you started your influencer journey, what sparked it? And, where are you at in your journey? Are you happy with your journey and all that?
So, what sparked my influencer journey was, well, the beginning thing of me with my scars, because I didn't really have a person that I could look up to when I was younger, someone like me and like the spotlight of it all. So I feel like that was my biggest thing, was to try to be a role model and influence not just my personal community, but just Black women in general. So that was my more spark thing. And I feel pretty great about it now because, like, when I first started, when you're first getting into things, you're just getting a feel for it. But now I can kind of use it as supporting myself because I can get paid from it. So I can live my life kind of on it. So right now I feel really good about what I'm doing because I've received multiple messages of other burn survivors just saying how it was an inspiration to them and how I helped them be more comfortable with themselves and put themselves out there, which was my whole entire purpose of starting this whole journey just from the beginning, stuff like that.
Okay, awesome. And I assume that, being a super eagle, that you are still in school, in college, whatnot. Is my assumption right?
Yes, online school though.
Okay, online. What are you studying?
Business and marketing.
Business and marketing. Okay, if you would have told me social media influencing, I'm like, dang, they did make it a course and a degree and all that. Rap back in the day, I remember when it first became like a subject course. So you just never know. With, the influencing, and since you have a purpose that's bigger than just, hey, look at me, I'm pretty, I can model and all this stuff, and you can do all of those things, but your position is even deeper for those who maybe have just getting into this, because anybody could have went through what you went through. It could happen to anybody. Not everybody could handle it so gracefully and then tell the world, this is what happened to me. So how, with that structure, I'm thinking like, are you doing TED Talks yet? Have you started to write your book? Like, where do you see yourself going?
I definitely see that. I've gotten multiple interviews of people just talking to me just about my life, not just about my scars, but me personally. But I do see that in the future, and I am actually working on writing a book. So I was actually kind of excited that you brought that up. But yeah, I do see a lot of just different great things for myself, like motivational speaking. And as I talked about, like me making a business, my personal self. So I see a lot of different great big things.
Okay. And I didn't want to lead off like just with, okay, again, the survival part, because we're all going through the same thing. You have, same issues with as anybody else.
Yeah.
You happen to, have a unique facial, and your body has gone through something as a young little person. I can only imagine. But your look still is such a you know how black don't crack, that black ain't gonna crack, right? So
Right.
I want to know, and maybe others want to know, do you see other people, like I see the albinos sometimes because they have a unique look, depending on where you are in the world. There's people who want to look like albinos. There's people who have shot themselves with scars because they want the gunshot of the tattoo. You can Google that, and people have done it. People pierce themselves all the way to look unique. You just have a unique look. Hopefully nobody says, hey, I want to go through this traumatic experience to have this look, but the future, I would be shocked. The way we're living, this is Babylon, this is Sodom and Gomorrah. Do you ever find yourself like, you know what, I'm going to take this and also become maybe an actress or a model, and I'm going to get paid, because why not you? There's people like Forrest Whitaker. There's people like, even Beyonce and Cardi B have their own look. So where do you see yourself taking it as the influencing just starts to mature?
I mean, exactly all the things that you're talking about, modeling, acting, and just everything around that realm, because I do have a unique look. And I feel like one of my main focuses of just me being an influencer or anything is that showing that beauty comes in all different forms, shapes, sizes, any look. So yeah, modeling, acting, there's definitely things I would definitely want to get into.
Okay. And I say this next part not to be crude, but I want the young person listening, or even maybe the old person, and say, you know what? I have a unique look, whatever that may be, fat, black, white, whatever you are, and, short, tall. I'm sure people in your IG and the DMs are still hitting you up saying, hey, what's going on? You're still getting that type of annoyance or love, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely a lot of kickback all the time, because I mean, not only are some people are flat out just rude, some people are actually just curious at the same time. So it's coming from both sides, really.
Okay. But people are always going to be rude, but I think that there's a certain type of incel or guy out there, and it may not even be the incels. Maybe it's the real wolves, and they'll say, you know what? Let me go find somebody who's like a midget, and they might have a low self-esteem, because there are guys out there who think, oh, if you have a low self-esteem, I can kind of trick you, and you'll do what I want. You talked about, though, in one of your videos, you're like, I didn't know I was different. I was just being me. And kids
Exactly.
are rude to anyone. Talk about how, was that your parents putting that type of confidence and assurance in you, or was it something else?
No, it was definitely my mom. She was a single mom when she raised me and all my siblings, and when she was going through all this. And she was one of the main reasons that helped me with my confidence, because she always just was like, there's nothing wrong with being different, because there are a lot of people who walk around just the same. So think of your instance as something that's like a blessing, that you get to be different, you get to be unique. And it was really just my mom just telling me that I'm beautiful and that it's okay to be different.
Okay. Okay. No, that's awesome for that. And talk about single mothers. Some guys go attack single mothers because they say, oh, well, I'm gonna say I can get her, because what other options do you have?
Yeah, I
So a
think
lot
that's
of
definitely how, oh, I'm sorry.
oh no, go ahead.
But that is how a lot of people thought of me. Like they thought that I didn't have a lot of self-esteem, and that they could do anything and walk all over me, and that it was a privilege that they were trying to talk to me, because who else is going to want her? But I feel like confidence definitely does show a lot, and I have a lot of it, and that kind of takes some people back, like, dang, she like has a lot of confidence. That's crazy. So people have tried to walk on me in the past, but me just showing that I'm confident who I am, like you're not about to get past me on that thing. Like I know my worth and I know my standards and I'm gonna stick by that. So yeah.
And like I said earlier, others are in the DM. So while you think you might be the only one, trying to take someone out there, like Beyonce said, I can have another one just like you.
In a minute. Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely true.
Yes, yes, yes. And your voice, I told you before we officially started, it's very calm. You really have
Oh yeah.
you have a doctor's voice is what I call it. That's like, that's I might be putting something in there. Tell your mom I said that. She might say, I told you, because
She would love that. She would love that.
Yeah. Every African parent, you guys would love, doctors on top of doctors on top of doctors, especially the medical, because then they can kind of sit back and relax. Too, kids are the retirement plan in the African culture. Can you talk about growing up African? Are both of your parents? I know you said it was a single mom, but are both Nigerian or both African?
Oh my mom is I don't know what my dad is, but my mom is she's not African. She's just well she's African American,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know specifically what the specific stuff is in our stuff because we haven't done like our like ancestry thing. So I don't know like the core
Okay.
details of each thing. But yeah, that's all I really do know. She's just African American. So
Okay. Okay. Well, see, and so sometimes, I'm sparking a whole nother conversation when she does
yeah,
her.
maybe something that because my name is Nigerian, so that's why there is a connection there, but I just don't know the specific lineage of it all. So
Well, shout out to, and I'll say, we know you're a Bantu girl. Either way, because of the West African Connect, I'd bet on it. But African Ancestry, AfricanAncestry.com will be maybe your next move. And I say AfricanAncestry.com, and you could do any of them. But with AfricanAncestry.com, me and my children, we got a citizenship from Sierra Leone because of our lineage through descent. So that's the perk. So where did you, Nigerian, what do you know about the Nigerian history and how can you, how do you know a little bit of Pidgin?
I really just my friend, well, she's not Nigerian. My best friend is South African, but she has a lot of friends from different like diversities and cultures that came together. So I actually didn't know my name was Nigerian because my mom named me and she didn't know that either. She just thought it was a pretty name. And so he actually told me about like, yeah, your name's Nigerian, like and all this stuff. So I was just like, so I haven't really gotten into like learning of it all, but that's definitely something that I should look at. I would definitely check out African history because I would love to know that because if I have that, that's a whole nother community that I could definitely be a part of. So
and like me, they're just gonna assume and they're gonna start talking to you, and
yeah, I
everybody
was
start
like,
talking Yoruba, Igbo. Hey, to your friend who told you that she's from or he is from South Africa, Sabona to you, they'll understand. But we have to know our roots so we can go to the next level. And again, there's citizenships available for you in certain places. I teach this stuff. Now, with, let's get into, you're doing a lot for the community, being vulnerable, telling your story. Is there any parts of the story that you say, you know what, I'm not going there? Because I saw you even like in the chest area showing like the burn parts. And I'm like, oh, wow, it burned like maybe all of her body, but you were vulnerable. You were more vulnerable than I'm telling you. I'd be like, man, y'all gonna pay me on OnlyFans for that type of information.
I did. No, well, I don't really have a problem sharing because I know there are other people who are going through the things that I'm going through, or people who are genuinely curious. So yeah, I don't have a right to where I'm like, oh no, I won't mention that. So I'm really just an open book, honestly, about my story.
Okay. And you mentioned it before, but whether it's now or in the future, what's a community give back that you would like to do?
I feel like just me, like, well, how I mentioned like the motivational speaking and stuff like that, but also I feel like workshops, because I mean, I know like girls and like just children go through different struggles day by day. I'm not saying anyone's struggle is stronger than anyone else's, but it was definitely kind of hard for me to be in like the school system and grow up and like try to navigate my way through there. So one thing that I thought, like, workshops for burn survivors to like how to, I don't know, I don't want to say like normal, because like it's not like we're not normal, but it's kind of hard to navigate your way through. So I feel like me just like talking to them and like having workshops like like communication skills and stuff like that, that's definitely one thing that I've thought about wanting to do for the community. So I'm trying to get that into works.
Okay, trying to get it in the works, get that into a plan. I mean, it's a whole, movie. I don't think a lot of people would know, the pain that, that I know you don't remember as a child how that was, but even like if you're doing any skin grafting, is that painful or has that, maybe that process has gotten a lot better? Maybe they put you to sleep. Can you talk about that for people? Because it's not just the pain, it's also the insurance and how expensive it can be.
Mhm.
Give us and educate us on some of that process.
Okay, so when all this happened, I was one, so I don't really remember like the entire thing, but I know financially it was a lot. Like not only financially, but emotionally. Like my mom going through all that and paying these hospital bills and watching me go through pain and all that stuff like that. But once I started to get older, like it was a lot like on my body, like just like exhaustion and in and out of the hospital. And so that part was kind of hard to just navigate through that growing up. So I feel like that part, it really just was a lot to like try to get through. So it made it easier today with all that stuff now, but yeah, that part was just a little bit. But everybody makes through each of their struggles depending on what it is. So
Yes, yes. And, when I'm thinking, if you're burned and we had like, the whole alopecia talk and people say, oh, well, is, when you burn, do you have hair? And I've known people and it's like, okay, they might have been burned, but things still are growing from their body. Like they have hair. And the way women nowadays are wearing wigs, it's normal to have a wig and
mhm.
whatever is going on. So I'd almost say, for you, do you have to have a wig or does your hair naturally grow? And,
No,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, no, I don't. Well, when I first had my surgery, they did have to cut all my hair off, to make sure of any like toxins or anything. But no, my hair definitely can grow. Like, well, I have an extensions right now, but
Mhm.
I could like probably send in like maybe a video or pictures of my hair, because I've done hair content on my stuff too, like taking care of it, nurturing it. But yeah, my hair definitely still does grow. A lot of different people have different struggles with that. But me personally, yeah, I still have like my natural hair. But I love to like do colors and stuff. This is like pink and purple, because I would never dye my natural hair. So that's why I like to put in extensions, because I like colors and being colorful and stuff like that. But yeah, no, yeah, I definitely still do.
Okay, no, okay. And the way even I said the women, excuse me, I can hear somebody tell me, Kellen, it's not just the women wearing wigs. It just,
That is true, because some guys are wearing some beard wigs, some wave lace fronts. So I've seen it.
man, it's, I don't know. Again, I'm not going to talk because I'm wearing this. It's rebellion, but it's also, if it ever goes back to where Stevie Wonder's is, I'm going to let it go.
Oh.
I think. But until then, so with your YouTube, I saw the YouTube. Are you big on TikTok or where else can the people connect with you?
Oh yeah, so my YouTube Princess Uva is a good place. I do have a pretty good following TikTok account that is also Princess Uva with 3 E's. And then I also have an Instagram account, which is also Princess Uva. So you can find me there too. And my Snapchat, which is also Princess Uva.
Okay. No, paid website yet where people can even get maybe more in the journey, or folks who say, just going deeper. Cause like, there's so many paid portals now. I don't even want to give one a shout out, but any plans for that where you kind of maybe go, piece by piece and go even deeper?
Well, that was an idea because Instagram does like subscriptions for extra content, and that's what I wanted to do. Like when any followers wanted to ask me anything beyond like what you're talking about. So that was a thing that I've wanted to get into. So I've advertised it. So if people want to join it, you definitely can. You can just go to my Instagram, Princess UWEEE with 3 E's, and you can get into that. It's like, and it's just me being more into depth about everything.
Okay. And let me suggest to you and any of the other influencers out there, young or old, when you get old, you get to see these companies come and go. So it's great to also have your own website and your own portal where you're collecting that data. So when they sell to China or whomever else, you still have your content that you and your people, because a lot of us back when the MySpace days were killing it, our Facebook days were killing it, and then you're always having to regain. So bring people, if they really care, into your own portal, things that you can control. You guys know I'm a consultant at the end of the day, so I give you guys free game right here. That's what it's about. No cap. I'm not talking about you feel me 110 times. I'm giving you real game. I'm not telling you to lease a car and put it on this site and Airbnb. I'm giving you real people who are telling you their real, purpose and prosperity, because I know you're gonna kill it. Like you're just getting started, and you're young, so you got time. Let the people know where you are at. You guys, I want you to follow her. The links will be in the description. You have any last words?
No, I'm glad that you thought of me as a person that you'd want to show awareness to, and I just wanted to thank you for that.
You are so welcome. You guys make sure you share this game with somebody. It will change their life. Be blessed.
Are you tired of the rat race in America? Are you ready to visit the motherland to relax and rejuvenate? Are you ready to explore all that Africa has to offer? Then check out the brand new Diversified Game Academy course, Prepare for My First Trip to Africa. Are you worried about being able to afford the trip? We got you. We will show you how to travel either on a budget or as a baller. Learn how to stress the value of the USD. Did you know that 100 United States dollars is worth over 1,000 South African rand, or 10,000 Kenyan shillings, or 54,250 West African CFA? Are you worried about taking your kids? Get the game from Kellen Cash, a bona fide world traveler, having traveled to almost 20 countries, several of those in Africa. Get the game on taking your kids on their first trips. Learn how to find the best tickets, get the visas, and plan your own adventures in Africa. Don't let Eddie Murphy have all the fun. Plan your own coming to Africa trip starring you, produced by you, and featuring you. If you are ready for a life-changing experience, sign up for our course today, Diversified Game Academy. Get prepared and purchase at diversifiedgame.com.